What?
Hey, tales from the green room. From the green room.
What is going on, Nathan Aurora?
Hello, my dearest Howard.
How are you, man?
Life is grand, man, honestly.
Life is grand. That's all you can ask. Ooh. Dig it.
ASMR.
Love it, man. I try to do that every stream, every week. Whether it's a beer or a nice, cool LaCroix, I'll fucking pop it right next to the mic, and just that's how you get shit started, man.
Yeah, man. It's not a beer, unfortunately. Now I have been drinking a lot while streaming. I've been drinking and streaming, but it's 10 o'clock in the morning here in California, so I'm gonna hold off on that for a couple hours here.
A little bit of self-control goes a long way.
Yeah, man. It's new year, new me. I don't drink till 3 p.m. now.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thanks for having me, man. I remember when we did our first tour together, and you were recording a podcast in the green room, and I was like, hey, what are you doing, man? You're like, oh, I have this podcast called Tales from the Green Room. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. And you were ahead of the curve, bro, because when the pandemic hit, everyone had a podcast, myself included, but you were before the curve.
I love that. This is something I think about a lot because I'm always down to that's why I started this podcast, was to like just kind of share the knowledge, right? Share the wealth.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in like withholding knowledge to, have something over people, or like,
same.
If there's a band that's doing well or wants to do well and is asking me questions, I'm not gonna be like, well, you need to figure it out for yourself, because that's what we did. We learned a lot of hard lessons.
Fuck yeah.
But I wish I would have had something like this, coming up. And
I know
I'm all about it.
100%.
So you called me early 2020, and you're like, yo, what do I need to do to get started? Like, what do I got to do to like stream, and like, what do I need? Just tell me what I need. I was like, okay, this. And
dude, you were the only dude that I knew that was doing it. And I had this idea, and it seemed like such a far-fetched thing to like write music remote on a stream. And like, I don't want to say no one was doing it, because for sure people were doing it, like live collabs and stuff. But like, this was maybe second month of the pandemic, and like no one was really, like, a lot of my friends and our colleagues figured it out along the way through the pandemic, but not a lot of us were doing it before then, because the tour schedules were so heavy. I had that idea, and I was like, I don't know if this is even possible or whatever. I'm like, the only guy I know that's doing shit like this is Howi, so let me just see what he thinks, if it's possible or not. Why not?
Yeah, and what I love about it is that, like, you actually went and did it. You actually followed through. Like, you took the notes and you took the knowledge, and you you executed. And that there's a lot of artists that hit me up around the same time.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, what do I need? Just like you. And I told him everything, and nothing ever happened. There was one other artist, this guy, Russ Baum, from a band called Meager Kings. Same thing. What do you need? Next thing you know, he does a morning show 5 days a week for 2 hours, every morning on Facebook. And now he's upgraded. He's in a studio. He's got like 3 cameras. He's got a producer. I'm like, bro, this is how you do it. And he went from having 3 viewers to like having 1,000 viewers or 1,000 views by the end of the day, because people go back and watch.
Yeah.
It is really awesome what we can get done at home when you really want it and you want to try.
Yeah, man.
And
I owe you I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I owe you a big thank you, man, because that really helped me get through the pandemic, like just creatively and shit like that. And it's funny, man, because you're constantly upping my game, because I called you that initial thing when I literally just had a fucking MacBook, like with a MacBook camera. I had nothing, like I had no inclination of how deep the journey of streaming actually went, because it's similar to music in the sense where you're like, I'll buy a guitar, and you go out and buy like a cheap guitar, when you're a kid, and then it never ends. Like, I'm like, trying to acquire new gear is a lifelong thing. You could be 65 years old and still be stoked to go grab that new guitar,
It's so true.
And I just remember, man, because I started up in my game. Like, I started with just the MacBook and the MacBook camera, and then did a couple episodes, and I'm like, I need to get a better camera. So I bought like a little camera, like this little guy that I'm using just for like side angles and shit now. And then I went and bought this camera that I'm using now, I think it was right before our episode, right? Like we did sound check and I was like, God damn, your fucking resolution looks so good, bro. Like, what do I have to do? And I literally, you were like, just go grab like a nice camera that's stream capable. And I went to Best Buy like the next day because I'm like, when I get excited about something, like I just do it. Like I can't withhold myself. Same. I know. And that's why it's like, it's funny because you said like you called me and you actually did it. And it's like, I can't help myself. Like I fixate on stuff and I'm like, I'm going to go fucking crush this. And like, I'll stay up all night figuring something out. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it, you know? But I remember I was calling you from Best Buy, like, dude, what do you think? Canon, Sony, like, what do you like? What's good? It's just funny, man. Cause like that was about a year after I started, or maybe not a full year, but a long time I did the podcast and I thought I was all set. Cool, man. And then I saw your camera and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. I think you bought the M50, right?
The M50, yeah.
Yeah.
And our episode was the first one with it. And I remember we did our episode and like the viewers were just like, yo, this looks so good. Look at Howi's camera. Nate's studio just got an upgrade. Like, what the fuck?
You know, it's like you see all these videos, you know, by YouTubers and they're like, you don't need amazing equipment, like you don't need all this, you know, to have it, you know, and you really don't.
You don't.
People,
but it helps.
Yeah, it does fucking help. People look, you do it with your iPhone, people are just happy to see you, you know, but when you do take the time and you spend a little money and invest in yourself and in your shit, it makes a difference, you know?
Well, it's just like music in that sense, you know, there's so many like, it aligns with music in so many ways. Cause it's like, it's true. You don't need it, man. If you have a potent enough message and a cool enough personality and something that people want to pay attention to, you can totally do it on a shitty camera. And as long as like what you're saying and like the content there is good enough, people will still listen to it. It won't be as pleasurable, and it's the same way with music. Like if you have a great fucking band and they record in a garage, like it could still hit just because the band is that good and the sound is that good. But like once that band grows, they're going to start getting into nice studios and start, you know, like investing in themselves, and it just makes it that much better, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, when we another thing of the pandemic, like we put out our album Message to the World, which for anybody who doesn't know, it was kind of a surprise album because we were doing the whole thing like stacking up singles and just, you know, you put one out, then the next month you put the next one out, but you put the one before from last month second, and then so on. So we got to 9 tracks and I was like, I don't know where the cutoff is. I don't know where the threshold is. But, you know, it comes out and it's like, oh, I guess we have a new album. Like it wasn't a single anymore.
Did you guys do 9 singles?
We did. Well, we did. Yeah, we basically led up to 9 singles. Wow. Well, I think we did. It was 5 singles and then we dropped a new single that had 3 bonus tracks, I guess. But it was 4 tracks, so it made it 9. And it just, that was, I think the cutoff is like 7 songs or 8 songs and 30 minutes long or something like that. If it's anything more than that, it's becomes an album.
EP or at least or something.
Yeah. And then you can look this up, but like, so we missed that. Anyway, the getting into the pandemic, like I had been learning how to record and use gear and all that stuff and learning how to mix and things and edit years before that, like I think 5 years before that or so, 5 or 6 years. And when the pandemic hit, you know, I'm seeing bands, they can't do anything. They can't go to a studio. Like everybody's closed, shit's on lockdown. And I was like, well, shit, we can do this. We can do this. Like I can do it right here, you know? And I went to my brother's, we recorded drums over there. Nick and Scott are sending me files from their house via Dropbox. I'm bringing it all back here and editing and mixing. And we put it out, and it was the first time we'd done something fully on our own, like a full record.
It's a good feeling.
It was a great feeling, and it was like, holy shit, look what we're capable of, you know?
Yeah.
And the whole idea was investing in yourself and just trying to become independent, you know, and not
really
have to rely on everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important, and if you didn't have a passion for it and you didn't enjoy the act of like learning and creating shit, it would be miserable. You know, it's not for everybody, but like you said and agreed with me, is like we get fixated on this stuff because I genuinely enjoy it. You know, it would be a terribly draining job if it wasn't something that you liked, you know, like learning how to mix music or learning how to set up a good looking stream or, you know, learning Photoshop or video editors. Like I've done all of that. And the reason I do it is strictly for joy. And, you know, obviously I love learning how to like make it something that can make money, but the nuts and bolts of it, man, learning how to, like, because I love to create. So like there's so many platforms these days in which to create, you know, even like I've been making these like Instagram reels, and it's fun. Like I fucking enjoy doing the video editing and getting a nice shot with like a blurry background and a nice autofocus and like mixing my own audio and like adding effects. And it's a fun thing, man.
Yeah. Your reels look good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, you can say the same thing about, you know, touring or being in a band, or just anything really. Is like, if you're not loving it, if it's not something you love to do, that you probably shouldn't be doing it. And, you know, there's people that work jobs out there that can't really say that. They can't do anything about that because it's just what they have to do to make the money. And I'm glad I started so young, you know, and got this going. And, you know, I was able to quit my job in 2013, you know, and it was, so definitely if it's something that you love, it's not work. And, you know, I don't know how many like tutorials I've watched on YouTube, like YouTube University, you know, but enjoyed every second of it, you know?
Yeah. It's, I feel the same way, man. Just really grateful that I was able to find the calling. And to be honest, man, I don't enjoy it every day. You know what I mean? Like there's some times where I got stuff that I have to do that it's like, it's kind of mindless sometimes, you know, like tell me like tuning vocals is fun.
Dude, no, I'm very close to hiring somebody on my next project to do that.
If I'm working with like anytime I'm producing anything, like I don't consider myself much of a producer. I'm more of like an arranger / songwriter kind of guy. But I have worked many projects where it's like, I guess, because the word producer has so many different definitions these days. You know what I mean? It could be a kid making a EDM song in his bedroom, or somebody who's in the studio with somebody saying, hey, that chorus is good, but shorten it. It's like there's so many definitions to it. But I don't do mixing and mastering. I just do like arrangement and sound design and shit like that, you know? And I always work with someone to outsource mix and master. And if I can get away with it, I will always ship them vocals and be like, you tune it.
Yeah. Dude, I remember like being so pumped when I learned how to use Melodyne a few years ago.
I know.
Like, oh, I can do this myself. And now it's like, fuck, I got to do this myself.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? I was the same way. But you know what? One of the things that I think is my biggest issue with that is I don't think I've learned it enough. Like I could do it, but I constantly, bro, like I'm like, there has to be a shortcut to this, but I'm doing it the long way. I'm like going through each thing. I'm like tracking each word. Like I know there's like an ARA and like it might surprise some folks out there, but like I'm definitely more tech savvy than the average guy just by the nature of what I do. But when it comes to like even guys like you, like how much you helped me with tech stuff, and then, you know, just other guys in the industry that understand so much of the tech side of stuff, I'm like halfway there. But like obviously compared to like the normal guy walking down the street, if he's like what's a DAW, you know what I mean, like more than that guy, but nowhere near as someone who understands all the nuts and bolts of every single program. I'm just like, I learned enough to get my fucking vision out, and I'm like, cool, let's fucking create. I mean,
that's all you need, dude. You know, it's you need that, and just the insatiable urge to create, and you know, the drive to create is gonna fuel the drive to learn, you know, like if it's, you know, I don't know how many times I've sat here like in Pro Tools or something and I've done a bunch of projects now, but it's like there's one little thing that pops up. I'm like, what is this? Like, how do I, you know, I got to go to the internet.
Totally. And you know, that was kind of one of the coolest byproducts of doing songs from scratch was I would be like in my project and sharing the screen, and like there was a lot of like up and coming guys that would watch it too, like, you know, other musicians that wanted to learn from the thing, and I learned a ton even from them. Like I remember one time I was doing fade ins and fade outs of like each cut audio file, and somebody commented and was like, hey man, you can like globally do that to every single one with like a stroke of the I have since forgotten what that shortcut was, but
dude, you showed me that, and I have forgotten as well, but
God damn it. And dude, I still do it the long way, and I'm like, I could probably just Google this, but I don't even know the terminology I'm looking for, and I don't want to sift through a ton of articles, so I'm just gonna fucking suck it up and just do it.
I want to say it's called a batch fade.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But
it was so easy, it was mind-blowing.
Oh,
and it probably saved me like an hour's worth of work.
You showed me, because I don't use Logic that much anymore. I'm like more Pro Tools, but like you showed me that. I was watching one of your streams and you're like, oh, Howie, check this out, bro. Click. I was like,
And it's faded all of them.
Oh, the hours wasted.
And I need that now more than ever too, because I'm doing shit with like tons of guitars on it. So I'll have like 13 guitar tracks, and it's not just tracked all the way through. It's like spots,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that would really save me a ton of time. If whoever taught me that while I was watching the stream, I feel like I know like a couple of people who it might be. If you're watching this, can you DM me and tell me what it was again? Because I forgot.
Yeah, with I love using Pro Tools because for that one reason I can select the whole track or all the tracks and hit Command F, and it'll fade everything, and then I can do a Shift Option 3, and then it merges all my shit to one track each. So it's not like pieces like anymore, So little
Logic doesn't do that. It's weird.
It doesn't do that.
Probably does.
Well, there's the glue feature, the glue tool, which is the same thing. But when I was making that lo-fi record, I made it in Logic, and I was like, I'll get back to this. And I haven't messed with this in a while, and I realized I'm like, man, this is why I use Pro Tools, because I feel like it's so much faster to edit in Pro Tools, But
a lot of people do that.
Yeah, but you like what you like. And nothing's gonna change.
It's
your mind.
A learning curve thing, It is. It's like I want to keep creating at the like rate that I have been, so I don't really want to slow down to learn a new DAW. I'm just like, I have projects I'm working on and want to keep going, and but a lot of guys mix in Pro Tools, and I've heard that it's fucking awesome.
It's great. But I totally hear you, man. It's like I'm the same way. Like I got Studio One last year because it was a pandemic and it was on sale. I was like, whatever. I might as well try to learn another DAW while I'm sitting here, because I already knew Logic. Pro Tools is my main thing. I was like, let's learn Studio One, because I think having, being a producer and working with other bands in different places and different studios, I've seen Pro Tools, I've seen
Ableton, all that.
Nuendo, Ableton, Logic, and I've worked in all these different studios, and I want to be able to know what's going on, and understand the DAW a little bit. So I did a little bit of Studio One and just kind of mixed a song to see, and I it was pretty good. I still prefer.
You make it work, man.
Pro Tools.
It's just an artist with a different canvas.
Exactly. Look, man, all these DAWs, they all do the same things. It's
trying
just
to get
a matter
to the same goal of finishing a song.
Exactly, and they all sound great, and there's no difference.
We're nerdy as fuck, by the way. We probably lost like half the listeners.
It's got so nerdy, bro. So, okay, I do want to talk about your stream, bro. I want to talk about Twitch.
Yeah.
So you're like, you got almost 800 subs, bro.
Yeah, I'm. It's not 800. So I wish it was 800. 800 followers.
Sorry, followers. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
But right. If everyone that follows me goes and subs right now,
do it, guys. Follow.
I'll go buy a Mercedes.
Exactly.
Just kidding. I think that would be like $500.
Dude, I meant to say followers. I'm on that YouTube.
Your YouTube guy.
Terminology.
Does YouTube take half your pay?
They take 30%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better than Twitch.
Yeah. I want to get into this with you because I have been struggling with myself, because I'm on Twitch. I got like 200 followers or so, but I started last year. I was like, I want to go on Twitch. I'm gonna fucking get on there. I started playing games, started streaming a little bit.
Yep.
And then I realized that I could do it on YouTube, and I already had an infrastructure there. And I was like, well, what's the point of me going to Twitch? And I like Twitch. I think Twitch is awesome. I think
it's fucking awesome.
I love the sandbox. I love the whole community. Everybody's like-minded there. Everybody goes there to watch. It's a
positive thing.
Streams. Yeah. It's very positive. And I love seeing the chat flying and people subbing and gifting each other. And I love all the things you can do. And like, I was checking out Rome's the other night, and he was.
Does he stream?
He streams. Yeah, it's not very often, but I think he's trying to get more into it.
Yeah.
And he did like it was like a giveaway. He just set up a giveaway, and I was like, well, you can't do that on YouTube, And YouTube is still building this out. They're this year is supposed to get a lot better for streamers. And I've been hearing of a lot of Twitch streamers leaving Twitch and going to YouTube.
Probably because the pay
is supposedly better. But I guess because of discoverability and things like that, because YouTube is made for videos. It's not really made for streaming, and people don't know.
Streaming is its side piece.
Exactly. And they're trying to build out streaming and grow that, so it eventually gets to where it hopes to get where Twitch is, I guess. And so I've been struggling with it, like saying, do I stream? I started a second channel on YouTube, and it's like my geek out channel. It's for all the weird shit that doesn't work on the main channel.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll stream on Twitch and do all this bullshit, like watch YouTube reactions, whatever, and then cut that up, put that on the second channel on YouTube.
Put the highlight reels,
all that stuff. But then I was like, but then it's like, I could become affiliate. It's there waiting. I just haven't done it. But then I keep hearing about the money stuff, and I don't really care about the money stuff. It's not that. But if I'm gonna grow somewhere, I want it to be somewhere that I'm gonna stay there.
Makes sense.
And
Makes
so
sense.
I guess because I'm sort of stifled. I don't know. Maybe it's like my mind telling me I should probably stick with YouTube, and
you should stick with one. I feel like, and that's why I kind of just stuck with Twitch, and it's kind of in the same boat because with Songs from Scratch, I started on YouTube. So the whole first season wasn't on Twitch. When we did season 2, that's when I started going on multiple platforms. It was YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. But first half of season 1 was only on YouTube, and then I was like, okay, might as well stream this to Facebook too. And then by season 2, it was streaming to all 3. And I struggled with the same thing because I had built this community on YouTube, and so when I went solely to Twitch, I lost viewership for sure. But what I found is that for what I do on there, the viewership was much more interactive and meaningful, just based on the kind of content that I was doing on there. Like you said, you could everyone's gifting and rating and doing all this added features that Twitch has that YouTube doesn't have yet, probably, because I do believe if these platforms don't all have a really dope streaming option, I don't know shit about shit, but I do kind of feel like the way that the world is going is the whole point of technology has been to bring you as close to the person you're watching as possible. It feels like, you know what I mean? It started with just audio on the radio, and then it was oh, now we do video. And it's seems like the trajectory is what can we do to put you in the room with the person digitally? And so that's where I think streaming comes in. That's why it's gained so much traction, is because it's as close as you can get until VR and AR and shit of where you're sitting at a table listening to people talk, So I think streaming is probably only going to keep growing. But anyways, I'm solely on Twitch now. I really enjoy it. The pay thing is fucking weird. I feel like they should, that's such a steep thing to take. It's a sub costs $5 and I get $250 of it, and Twitch keeps $250. It's crazy as fuck.
It's
but
weird.
It's so I don't play video games or anything. I didn't know anything about Twitch, but that's why I was I went to YouTube because growing up in our generation, everybody knows what YouTube is. So I'm just okay, I was familiar enough with YouTube, so learned it. Hey, there I am.
There he is.
Oh yeah, that stream down there in that box I did for the first time the other day. Have you ever heard of the tier lists?
Yes.
It was fun.
I saw that. Because I've seen other YouTubers doing this. I was like, I'm going to do this. I don't know what I'm going to rate yet, but I'm going to do this. Yeah. It's
fun. The other day I was just hanging at the house and I didn't have a lot going on. And but you'll see what I was telling you before the podcast when this ad is over is I loaded the new Tim Henson plugin that I got. It's a profiler, a Neural DSP amp profiler. And it's really heavy because it's thousands of amps and shit.
Uh-huh.
Second I fucking pulled it up, it killed desktop audio on my stream, and I was
oh shit.
I'm just and I did it in the first 2 minutes of the stream, and the whole stream was supposed to be let's hang out, let's watch YouTube videos, let's listen to new music. It was all a desktop audio based stream. So it eventually, I think I just did a tier list, and I had no fucking music playing. I was listening to Mac Miller in my headphones, but the stream couldn't hear my Spotify.
Oh, bummer, man. Yeah, that's the worst thing. When you're trying to do something fun and cool, and then your shit is just messed up, and it just ruins.
It's inevitable,
ruins
bro.
the stream.
We know it all too well,
dude. It's live television,
Yeah, with one guy producing and acting and doing everything. So
exactly. I know when you're the one that's doing everything, it makes it a little weird. So I love this. This is great. So wait, what were you doing here?
So it's fast food restaurants, and you're ranking them. So you can see the ones that I put on the very top that are goated are, what is that? Auntie Anne's, Carl's Jr., In-N-Out, and Jersey Mike's. Shout out to Jersey Mike's. I worked there for 3 years, and then I didn't eat it for another 3 or 4 years because I was so sick of it from eating it every day. But now that's like the fucking hangover cure, dude. Like if I wake up and I'm like, I need something or I'll die, it's like, give me a fucking veggie sub with tons of oil and vinegar on it.
Oh, I love this, dude. So, so these are your goats here, and Annie Ann's, Hardee's, In-N-Out, Jersey Mike's, and then your S tier is Arby's, Chick-fil-A, and Chipotle. Nice.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of Arby's, bro.
I mean, so I've been vegan for a long fucking time now, so I had to operate this from the sense of like, without that bias, you know, of like what I loved beforehand. I fucking loved Arby's, bro. Like Arby's was the jam.
Yeah, we'll see it on the road, and I'll fucking skip it, dude. Like it's like I'm not hungry.
You know what's funny too is like gone are the days of like, you know, when we first started touring, the whole band is like vegetarian, vegan, and well, most of us, but like back in the day, it was like exciting when you first get out there to like, especially as a, you know, a veggie guy, we were like, what kind of options can we just randomly create? Like go, like a whole band of guys walk into a fast food place and like make friends with the people working there. You know, you're in like a random small town and they're just like friendly because they're like, what are you guys doing? Where are you guys from? And you kind of hanging and we're like, so what kind of shit can we like craft up here? Like, can you take the sourdough bread and like do this and this? And we always used to try and get them to make like off menu items and stuff. Arby's was one of the best ones for like a veggie sandwich. They would give you the marble rye bread is what I used to get, and then just stack veggies on it, bro. And it was like pretty good for like vegan fast food and shit.
Awesome. That's a fucking tour hack right there, man.
Yeah, it's true, man. I guess if you're not vegetarian or vegan, there's really no need to like customize shit like in a crazy way because it's like they're fucking delicious. Like, why are you gonna change like a Big Mac? You know, like what are you gonna do to a Big Mac to make it better? You know, but like as someone who doesn't really eat that stuff, you're like, well, how can I make this as delicious as possible? Like, and obviously we try and avoid it as much as possible. And I tend to eat pretty healthy on the road. I find it easier. A lot of people are like, how do you do it? I'm like, I find it easier to eat healthy on the road than at home. Cause at home, like I know all my favorite spots and I know what time they're open and I know it's right around the corner and I have my own car so I can just go get shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But on the road, it's like I buy groceries and I like have a very regimented schedule. But sometimes, you know, you just want to fucking pig out and be a piece of shit. So the other day when we were still out on tour, it didn't work out because we were looking at the maps wrong. But I thought that there was a Carl's Jr. right next to an In-N-Out, like in the same parking lot. Mm-hmm. So I was going to go get a veggie sandwich from In-N-Out, which is just the bun and veggies, no meat, no cheese. And then I was going to get 2 Beyond patties from Carl's and throw them on the In-N-Out. And I was calling it In-N-Out Junior or Carl's In-Out. But it didn't work out. And it was just a Carl's sitting there alone. And I was like, all right.
Okay.
But you know that feeling? We were like driving down the road and everyone's hungry. And I'm like, dude, in an hour, I'm about to make this fucking hybrid sandwich that's going to blow people's minds. I'm so excited. And we're looking at the maps. We're getting closer. And then we pull up. We're like, where's In-N-Out? What the way? And they were like, oh, it's 2 hours the fucking opposite way. No.
Oh, no. Yeah, same thing. It's like, bro, we're going to get some fucking chicken, bro.
Yep.
45 minutes, bro.
You pull up and it's a fucking Godfather's
Sunday.
pizza. It's a fucking Dairy Queen.
Yeah, dude. Nah, we fucking look for that Chick-fil-A and it's Sunday, bro. God.
What's the worst one on the road for you?
The worst one? The worst food?
I mean, just like the one that you're like, you see every 5 seconds and you're like, I'm starving and I'm not going to eat that. Hold on. Let's say it on the count of 3. Think about it.
Okay, wait. Answer. So we're saying food that we actually don't want to eat. We're like, fuck that food, or food that we're like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like even if you're starving, you're like, just get a bag of chips.
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then say it. Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, boom.
So like a rock paper shoot.
So 1, 2, 3, boom, like that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Subway.
Yes.
Yes, dude.
It's fucking everywhere.
We fucking did it. We did it.
Yes. It's fucking everywhere.
It is, man. It's fucking
everywhere.
It's fucking everywhere.
I do this thing on the road that my band thinks is annoying as fuck, but I enjoy it, so I do it. And I just like, when we're really bored and we're sitting there, I'm like, are you ready for trivia? And I just like, everyone's just like sitting on their phone. They're like, shut the fuck up, dude. Some of my guys get into it occasionally, but I'll just like ask questions and make everyone guess an answer, and then we'll Google it. So like one time the trivia was going on really long at a late night truck stop hang, and I was like, what do you think the most popular fast food place is based on number of locations? And it's Subway across the world. There's more Subways than there are McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, than anything.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I definitely wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
My wife
incredible.
went to Thailand a couple of years ago and said that there was Subways everywhere. And I'm
No
like,
shit.
like, no one likes that.
No one likes this fucking food, bro.
Fucking likes that.
It's such a bummer, man, because every truck stop has it, and you're just like, dude, can't we, like, what are we doing here? Like,
or Chester's chicken. They
Chester's
got Chester's. You got Chester's and everything.
Chester's.
There's a lot of Bojangles.
Yeah, down in the south, they got the Bojangles, Zaxby's.
Zaxby's.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, dude, Pollo Tropical in Florida.
Never heard of it.
The shit, dude.
It's
the
good.
Shit. Oh god, dude.
Tropical chicken.
It's basically like fast food, but like it's like fast food, like almost like burrito bowls. Like but like
they have like grilled chicken.
Yeah, it's like grilled chicken, and there's other stuff, but like you can get like a piece of chicken with like a corn on the cob and some other stuff, and
nice. It's like an El Pollo Loco, but more legit.
I guess so. Yeah, it's really nice. It's fucking delicious is what I meant. You can get your own like barbecue sauce, and
they got stiff competition where I live in La Habra, California. There's a chain that's on every corner called Juan Pollo that like people just fucking love. It's like El Pollo Loco, but more lit, fam.
I'm gonna have to check that out. We're about it.
Next time you're in California.
What about Taco Cabana in Texas?
Never had it.
Never had it. Oh, dude.
We don't get to hit a lot of the spots because like our whole band was vegetarian, vegan for a long time. We got one guy who recently switched back over, but the crew and stuff all eats meat and just kind of does whatever. But we don't really hit a lot of like the classic spots because of that. You know what I mean? Like we're operating on a different thing where it's more so like our intel of other vegan friends are like, dude, when you're in fucking Texas, you gotta hit this spot. And it's like a vegan spot. You know what I mean? But it's like we miss some of the other ones that bands are like, dude, one of the things that breaks my vegan heart every time is like I never had a legit Maine lobster roll. And so like now we're talking in your wheelhouse a little bit. You're a Northeast guy. But every time tours go to like fucking Maine, like bands just get it for everyone on the tour. Yeah. It's like they'll just order like 100 fucking lobster rolls and bring them backstage.
Yep.
I'm not tempted to do a lot of things as a vegan, but that one's hard every time. That one's hard every time.
Damn, man. Yeah. Yeah. Our tour manager, Alex, will get the lobster roll.
I love Alex.
Yeah, he's great, man. He's a good dude.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he'll get that shit immediately. Like as soon as he's done setting up, he'll run straight for the first lobster roll place in Portland.
311 had it catered when we did Portland, Maine with them last time.
Dude. So let's talk about 311.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 311 tour, bro. So you guys did this, what was it, like 6 weeks? 7 weeks?
10 weeks.
Was it 10 weeks?
10 weeks in a pandemic, baby.
Damn. That's insane.
I mean, talk about like really just crossing your fingers every day to be like, hope we can play tonight.
Yeah.
Because we were out at the same time, and you guys got the cooties. And
we did. We got the.
You guys got the cooties, and we were like, every band that was out there was watching other bands, and they're like, hope we all make it. I hope we all make it. We're kind of like referencing where we're at with our other guys. We're like, I remember when Revolution finished their tour without any COVID stuff. I was like, cool, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Brian was a stickler on that tour managing.
Yeah. Regardless of beliefs and everything, everyone's got mixed opinions these days, and that's awesome, whatever. But you kind of got to be, if your goal is to not cancel shows. I mean, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care if you think it's made in a lab or made whatever, like, but if we're talking about having to cancel shows because someone tests positive, like, you kind of gotta be a grandpa on the road.
You do. And it was like the lamest fucking tour ever. It was fun. It was good. It was good to be back on the road, but like, I say lame just in the respect of like, we didn't get to hang out with our friends normally that we see.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
And people text you, you're like, bro, I can't hang. Like, I'm sorry.
And you feel like an asshole. Like, not that you feel like an asshole because you can explain to them, like, look, man, I haven't seen like anyone, but it's still like, my wife, we had to cancel a trip for my wife to come out because, protocols were so strict. and she was planning on, because dude, when the tour came through, it was like, oh fuck, pandemic's over, no one gives a shit anymore. And then it was like right when we stepped out in summer, everyone's freaking out again. So
yeah.
I had to cancel a trip for my wife. That sucked because she was coming out first week of tour, and so it was like before the wheels kind of even started turning on the tour. So like, you know, the camp, the everybody's protocols kind of lessened when it comes to like inter-band stuff, and like what we're, you know, at first it was like, yo, fucking lock the fuck, you know, but by week 7, week 8, everyone was like, okay, we can all like do this, like we're good. Like it was still no friends, no ragers, none of that, but it was still like, we knew we were capable and what we had to do. Everyone knew what was required in order to do it. You know, so, but you're right, man. It was different. It was different. I know that I love what I do because, and I've learned this in many different ways throughout the years. I know that I love what I do because I can enjoy it in many different circumstances. Like there's been many times I have bad ears and I get earaches a lot if I go near water. And I've gotten like 3 or 4 really bad earaches on tour. So I don't go in the water anymore on tour because it's just not worth it, man. Like my ear swells up and I can't put my in-ear monitor in, and it's just painful and it hurts. So, but there's been many times I've had to take an antibiotic for that while out on the road to beat it. So I don't drink for 2 weeks, you know, and I'm looking at everyone around me partying, having a good time. And I've still been able to have a fucking blast, completely dead sober. You know, when we actually did that tour together with Iration, I didn't drink at all on that whole 3-week tour just because I was kind of on this health kick thing. I had just lost a ton of weight, and I was like, I hadn't drank for like 3 months prior, just as part of the weight loss journey. Yeah. Still exercising and shit like I was then, but I do enjoy drinking. I drink all the time. But at that point, it was like all about just like get in shape, and so I wasn't drinking, and so that carried on with me through the tour, and I was sober for that entire 3 weeks that we were out together, and I had a fucking blast, you know. And I know that there's certain artists out there that kind of rely on that kind of stuff in order to enjoy what they do, and I enjoy both. I enjoy being sober out there. I enjoy partying out there. I'm just grateful because I know that I'm there for the music, and I love it for the music, you know?
Yeah, we did a Sober October thing a couple years ago, and most of us made it. A few dropped off midway. But
it's about balance, man.
It really is. It really is. Look, man, it's like everybody knows it's poison, but you know, to be able to enjoy a drink, you know,
100%.
Yeah, it's come on, you know. And
I'm a psycho in that sense too, where it's like we're talking about being a fanatic about learning shit, and like that's why I'm always on a struggle of trying to find balance in my life when it comes to pleasure and discipline. Because sometimes I go through waves of like, dude, I am so disciplined for like those 3 months, you know, lost like 45, 50 pounds, not drinking, exercising, running 5 miles a day, eating super clean. And I was a psycho about it, dude. I was like fucking, you know, I was like David Goggins, bro. I was reading David Goggins and shit. And I was like, stay hard, motherfucker, let's fucking go. And like, sometimes I'm like, dude, I just want to fucking eat ramen and drink beer for like a week straight. Like, you know, so it's like, always trying to find the balance in between being a psycho in one direction or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it was for us. We, you know, in the 2000s. I mean, we call 2007. We call it the Great Blackout of 2007 because it was the Jaeger years, and we had just started touring, and shit was
you guys were young,
crazy.
Too.
Yeah, we were young. We could handle it, and it was fucking nuts. And so to go from that to like now, it's like we'll be on tour, and it's just like, I might have a beer like right before we play. Like I'll take one out with me usually, maybe a shot. And even like 2019, I was like, I'd have a few shots during the set. But I don't know, we've really slowed down. It's just because it's not as, man. I don't like feeling that way. Like when I look back at what we used to do, man, I used to get ripped. Like
how did I make it to sound check?
Bro, we would pull up to the venue. I'm thinking Beachside Tavern in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, or something. Like we'd pull up, like, okay, there's the venue at like 3:00, and then we go, let's go find some beer, and we'll go get the beer. Then we load in, then we just drink until 11, and we play, and we're fucking trashed. And I'm like,
I know,
like no wonder the band didn't like blow up or something, because we were probably sounding like shit, you know.
Yeah,
but we thought we sounded amazing.
Everyone's got the stories, man. Everyone's got the stories, you know. Yeah, like, and everyone's on a different journey. I have some friends that are like, you know, they're like used to fucking be blacked out at sound check. And I'm like, I'm lucky. Our band never was like that. We've never been big drinkers as a collective unit. Like our guitar player doesn't really drink at all. Our bass player rarely drinks. Our keyboard player rarely drinks. So we're not like a big drinker band, you know? I enjoy drinking, but I'm not the whole band. You know what I mean? So, right. But even like back in the day, I played sober every single night for like 4 fucking years, dude, because of that same mentality. I was like, I'm not out here to party. Like, I'm out here to fucking like blow this thing up. You know what I mean? So like, I want to put on the best show possible. Getting back to the question about 311, I did find a new joy in having a couple before the set, strictly based on the fact too that like, you've done those amphitheater tours, and being the first one of an amphitheater, it's very low energy usually when you step out there. It is. It's summertime, so we're going on at like 5:30, and 5:30 still feels like afternoon. Like you're getting out there, and it still feels like the dreary afternoon hours. Like people are a lot of people aren't even there. Yeah. The people that are there maybe having their first drink, maybe getting some food, whatever. And so I'm having to bring like this crazy fucking extravagant extra ass energy just in order to like make people notice us, And I ended up having a lot of fun experimenting with like how many like White Claws or shots would get me to a perfect level where I was like comfortable enough to break down my own mental barriers and like get completely out of my shell. I was like running into crowds and shit like that because I'm like, dude, we're the first band. Everyone's already looking at us like, the 311 camp is awesome and they're a cult following, but that goes both ways. Like if they accept you and they love you, then they're riding with you for life. But if they don't like you, they're just like going to snooze through your whole set. You know what I mean? Yep. They're there for 311 and they make that shit clear, but it goes both ways. Like some like we gained a lot of 311 fans and they fucking love us now. But there's some that are just like, oh, who invited this talent show band to the thing? You know what I mean? Like, where's 311? Oh man. And so I'm like, even if you think that about us, you're goddamn gonna remember our performance. I'm gonna take the mic right off the mic stand and run through the third row of the crowd. Like, and you'll be like, oh, that guy was off the chains.
Yeah, it's your job as the opening act to try to get people pumped,
Yeah, make a statement.
That's why, you make a statement, and you got to maximize every opportunity. And when you're in front of, probably, it's 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, at an amphitheater, it may not look like a lot. There's probably like 500 to 1,000 people, within the first hour of doors.
If you had them in a club, it would be fucking lit.
It'd be crazy, right? So it doesn't look like much because it's spread out, but just give them a good time and love your craft and just do it. And it is hard to muster up the energy sometimes, especially like when you got people, literally people in the front row, either with their back turned towards you,
eating their chili cheese fries and shit.
Like, or just on their phone, or literally just fucking staring you down, just like, you're just like,
I find that less damaging in an amphitheater though than in a club. Because sometimes even at our headline shows, people will be front row like this for the whole set, and I'm like, wait, like,
what are you here for?
And I don't even take it personally or take it to heart. I'm just like, maybe that's how they enjoy their music. I'm not fighting to get to the front row just to stand there. If I'm going front row, I want to be fucking wild. Granted, I don't go to the front row at all because I'm just like too old. And
dude, fuck that.
Fuck that.
Dude, I'm taking my kid to a Kid Leroy show in March. And it's his favorite rapper. I'm just like, there ain't no fucking way I'm going to the front. Like,
I'm in the back. Here, buddy, sit on my shoulder.
Yeah, for real, dude. Like, it's gonna be nuts. But yeah,
just crowd surf them up to the front,
dude. Even dude, for real. Even at a Green Day show, man, my favorite band of all time. Like, I'm fine sitting in the seats, dude. I'll rage.
Same, man. I've gone to see my favorite band in this whole entire universe. They're called the Wonder Years. They're a pop punk band, and I've gone to see them a million times. And I always love seeing the youngsters in the front row. They're going fucking wild. I'll go just as wild, but like at least 15 rows back where I have my personal space. I'll still be jumping, singing, fucking raging, making a fool of myself, but I'm not trying to be like in people's shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, I always get shit because I'm so tall. People are like, hey man,
you're like 7 feet tall.
Could you move? I'm like, get here earlier, motherfucker. But
goddamn.
Closing out on the 311 thing real quick before we move on. Like, so how'd you feel about the tour? Did you feel like people dug the band? Did you see like things increasing, streams, subs, followers, any of that stuff?
It was amazing, man. Honestly, like not only was it a good time, but it's one of those tours where, you know, you're doing this reggae thing and there's a couple of those staple tours that obviously you want to hit. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants to get on the bill with the stupid summer tour, the red summer tour, and the 30 Heads tour and the 311 tour. That was like a big staple for us, you know? There's a couple of these like massive bands that like in a sense are kind of the godfather bands of the genre. You know, you want to get up there on those. That's like the biggest exposure you're going to get on a summer tour as an up and comer. So yeah, not only was it a good time, but it did end up being something that I think really helped out the band. I mean, we got tons of exposure and a lot of new fans that were like, man, you guys fucking killed it. You guys 30 minutes up there. It flew by in like 2 minutes. Like so much energy, you know? And I give my boys a big old shout out because I wasn't the only one up there bringing that kind of energy, trying to make a statement. All fucking 5 of us were like going absolutely bananas on stage. And, you know, another factor of that was the fact that we hadn't toured at all in a year and a half. So like there's genuine like primitive energy stored within our cells that was like waiting to explode on stage. And all of my guys did that, you know, from me to like my fucking drummer who's headbanging and just standing up every second you can and exploded, you know? So it was great, man. It was great. And I always thought that if the guys from 311 were able to hear our music, that they would fuck with it. Cause like, I have so much respect for Tim Mahoney as a guitarist, man. He was like, you know, even before like Expendables and shit, he was throwing riffs over reggae music, you know? Like he was blending heavy metal riffs and rock riffs with fucking reggae. And I'm like, that shit was profound, you know? And like we do a lot of that stuff in our music. And I always thought it would make for a good mix, you know? And I think that it did, man. And I got nothing but positive things to say about all of those band members, man. They're such nice dudes. They took us in, even with the COVID stuff, you know, it was like obviously a lot more distance than it would have been outside of the pandemic. We probably would have kicked it a lot more, but like they definitely did what they could to make us feel nice and welcome and let us know that they were happy to have us out there with them, you know. And they came and watched our set a ton of times, you know, like, and that was always like a really cool thing is, you know, you're going out as an opening band and you turn to the side, fucking Nick Hexum's watching your set, like really taking it in too. He's like this, you know. I'm like, this is just fucking cool, man. So really grateful. I think the tour helped us out a lot and we all managed to have a really good time on it. You know what I mean?
That's great to hear, man. We've had nothing but great experiences with 311 in their camp and the fans. 2008, we played our first shows with those guys, and like ever since then, it was like 311 Nation, all you know, taken in Ballyhoo, and just I've made friends from that community, and it's just awesome every time we play a show with them.
Cool, man. I have such a profound respect for bands like that who have built an empire, and like they have, you know,
they can keep 30 years in, they can keep playing these big shows and doing 311 Day and you know, cruises and all the events that they do, and people follow them, and that's the dream, man. It's not, you know, the dream isn't about, you know, getting to fucking Beyonce status, you know. It's like so that's fucking impossible, you know. It's not impossible, but you know what I'm saying. And given the genre, and the way that things are so you know, the playing field is leveled now, and Spotify and everything. It just there's music everywhere that you're never ever going to hear in your lifetime. But they've got fucking a million fans. You know, it's just that the world is that big, and we just need to do the best we can to find, you know, carve out our little piece of it and make it our own and let it flourish. You know,
and we can do it like independently, you know, and that's the beauty of it, you know. There's like, and that's why like there's so much music out there that's massively popular that you may never hear, is because you're able to get very successful independently now, which is awesome, man. It's a place for everybody, you know.
There really is. Yeah, it's not. It really is, man. It's not a fucking race. It's just it's like just do the best you can do and carve out your spot, dude.
Yeah, man.
So before you get out of here, fucking Ease and Grace, you guys dropped that a few months ago.
Yes, sir.
Sounds great. I love that it's got 15 tracks on it.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that. Like, I want to normalize this again.
Yeah.
This is what it was in the 90s and 2000s.
I like albums, man.
I want to go back to 15 track albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why not? You know, it's like, I totally get how, you know, like I've been a advocate for telling bands, you know, hey, release as much as you can over the year.
Yeah.
Don't do an album every 2 years.
Yeah.
Release the album. Absolutely. Because I believe that fans still love albums, but always have something ready to go. And, you know, an album cycle is a lot shorter than it used to be. It's like 6 months.
Totally.
Maybe,
yeah.
You know,
totally. I know we dropped it a while ago. We're about to do the tour because we had the 311 tour, but it still feels like it's short now. Sorry to interrupt you. The album cycle feels short.
Dude, it's I knew 9 months after Girls came out in 2017 that it was over. I was like, yeah, here we go. So it's only.
I was watching the other day one of those fucking like documentaries, and it was like I watched two. One was Steven Tyler one, and the other one was Journey. And it just fucking blew my mind, man, because like you wonder why these albums are so iconic, right? Some of these classic rock albums, and then you go, holy fucking shit, they toured that album for 3 years straight. You know, like Aerosmith and Journey and Def Leppard, all those guys, like when they dropped an album, they're doing world tours for years where they're playing like 300 days a year for 3 years consecutively, all the same tour. Like for bands like us in our current state of affairs, it's like we'll do 6 different tours in 3 years, maybe more.
Maybe more.
Know?
Yeah.
Like one will be an album tour, the other will be like supporting the next single after the album tour, and blah blah blah. But back in the day, it was, you know, and I have this awesome fucking Fleetwood Mac vinyl that I picked up in Portland one time, and it's a Rumors Live vinyl. And when you pull out the booklet, it says all of the dates on the tour. And I mean, I don't know how long it lasted, but it was probably a couple years, because it's like 100 shows in Europe, 100 shows in Asia, 100 shows, maybe 200 in the US, like all of Australia, like all this shit. And you're like, this was one tour. Like,
it's insane, man. It's insane, man. Yeah. When you look back at that, the old model, and you know, there's a lot, you know, the biggest bands ever probably will still do that. And they'll probably still tour for like a year on the same record, year and a half.
True.
But most bands these days are not going to do that. And, yeah, I remember just seeing Motley Crue. I never saw them when I was a kid, but I remember them coming.
Look at the dates.
Yeah, they came around. I was a huge fan, and I didn't get to go see the tour, but I was like, man, they're still on that tour. It's wild. No doubt.
You're like, I went through puberty since they were still on this tour.
Seriously, yeah. and No Doubt was on Tragic Kingdom. That was like a 2 or 3 year tour cycle.
Yeah,
they toured on the same record, but it's crazy. And you can't fathom that nowadays. Nowadays, it's like, okay, thanks for the record. 3 months later, okay, what else you got? You know,
look at our streaming numbers.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, awesome.
In that same vein, we are doing an Ease and Grace album release tour this year. It's March and April. It's 4 weeks across the U.S. Tickets are available now on iyaterra.com. They're going fast. We do like the fan club thing, and they're all sold out, which is really cool. Like the meet and greets and all that shit.
Awesome.
The shows themselves are not sold out. There's still tickets for I think every show, but they're going. And which is, you know, what else can you ask for in life? Is, you know, you make music and you sell tickets to your shows, sell albums. It's fucking awesome. But if anyone listening would like to come to the tour, it's gonna be a really good time, man. We haven't done a headline since COVID. You know, we went out and did 30 minutes every night with 311, but we get to do full 90 now. So we've got a lot of new music to play from the new album. We're doing some really cool covers and just all new transitions and performance. And it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I hope to see you guys there.
Dude, I love it, man. I love it. That, like, as you said, that's all you can ask for is just, you know, put the tickets on sale and just go do your thing, man. I fucking love that.
Yeah. Grateful, man. I don't worry about that shit too much. You know what I mean? I'm happy if there you go. There's the dates, guys. And I don't know what this is. I don't ever check in on like ticket sales and stuff. You know, we have a weekly meeting and management will let me know, and I'm always like, that is fucking awesome. That's mind blowing. That's fucking awesome. You know, and I'm grateful for that.
I'm the opposite. I'm grateful, but I'm the opposite.
A lot of guys are.
I'm fucking obsessed with ticket sales and numbers and analytics and things. I just am that way, but I like to. Fine. I use it for learning purposes. Like, where can we adjust? You know, same thing.
You want to understand what helps get the word out better. You know, what helps people buy tickets. I get that, man. I respect it a lot. I don't know what it is. I almost feel like I've gotten extremely lucky throughout my career because. For like, I'm into certain aspects of the business for sure. But majorly, I just love creating, and I've always like how do I even say this without sounding kind of like a douchebag? Like I just really I feel extremely lucky and extremely blessed that I can kind of focus on creating and the rest of the stuff falls into place. You know what I mean? I know that that's like it's an extreme privilege and I don't know what controls that. I don't know what exactly it is that attracts people to the music and stuff, but it's been there and I'm really fucking grateful for that, man, because it lets me focus so much on the actual creation of the music and the art that we're putting out, and then when I do check in on it, I'm like, oh my fucking god, people are buying tickets, like holy shit, people are buying merch, like it's fucking awesome. So thank you to everyone out there that is doing those things.
It's a wonderful feeling, and it's great to see you guys fucking doing this, man. If you have a if you have a good team in place working for you, to help all these things, facilitate them, help them fall into place. Like that's what it should be. Is like the artist should just be worried about creation.
That's the dream.
I'm a fucking maniac, so I'm like, so how's this going? What's it? Tell me this. I just do that, but like
nothing wrong with that because that's like you like that. You enjoy. I'm sure you enjoy it the same way you like learning a new DAW.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and it takes every kind of guy. Because I've got tons of friends, like that are in successful bands that still keep their ear to the ground like that. They're successful already, and they're like still checking in tickets, still checking in all that, and like that's just because they enjoy it, and that's fucking awesome too.
Yeah, I feel bad for anybody that manages us because I tend to micromanage.
You're there.
Yeah, and I'm always like, so how's this coming along? It's like, bro, we just talked about it two minutes ago.
I know. You're like, hey, did you send that email yet? Man, just checking in. I feel grateful, dude. I don't want to say I'm completely innocent of doing those things because I just go through waves, But usually it's like when I'm all sparked up and fucking, you got to like keep a leash on me. Like when we get close to finishing an album, I don't sleep, bro, like because of excitement. Like I'm laying in bed and I'm like, music video idea, I better text management right now. Hey man, can you fucking check in with this guy and try and line that up, man? And they're like, dude, like oh, sure, it's 6 a.m. Sure.
Bro, chill.
Yeah, but then I'll go on a massive like cool down period of just be like, okay, just did 4 music videos, dropped an album, like I fucking holy shit, that was fun, but it was a lot,
Yeah. I hear it, man. Ease and Grace, title track is awesome. The video is great for it. I love how the video looks with the lights on the walls flashing behind you and just like
really fun, man. Shout out to my boy Mason who directed that video. I grew up playing metal and hardcore with him in Vegas. So he just was always, we went to the same high school and shit like that. And he's grown into an awesome video director.
He's got the eye, man.
He's got the eye, man. I was just him, one camera.
Really? Oh man.
No team. Nothing.
I love that.
We rented a space out. He has a dope camera, and more than that, he's got a dope fucking eye, man. His girlfriend was with him flipping lights and shit in the warehouse, and he was just running around getting these action shots and
so tight.
He did the Wiser Now one too in the same way. It was just him. And
is that the rooftop one?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just, I feel like when I came up with those videos, I was like, there's not enough bands in this genre that do performance videos. And it feels like a lot of reggae bands' music videos fall flat on their face, and we've done it too. Like if you watch our video for Nice It Up on it came out in 2015, it's funny, like it's cool, and it's like fun and innocent and playful, but it fell flat on its face. It just in the sense of where like, you try to go too hard on a storyline without $1 million budget, it's going to turn out like shit.
Man.
If you don't have $1 million music video budget, like the storyline thing it's tough, man.
It is. You got to have, I wouldn't say you need $1 million, but you definitely need somebody that has a vision and can help you true. And they can help you realize it in the right way and have a good eye and understand the best shots and things like that. And like,
we need like props and like actors. And, you know what I mean?
We did that whole thing. We did it for the Last Night video back in 2012 and it's like one of the worst videos ever. It looks cool. But what the fuck is going on here? Like, what is this? What am I looking at? And you're trying to tell a story and I hate trying to tell a story in a video. You have to like, it's a roll of the dice, man. Sometimes it's going to look cool. Sometimes it's going to be like, this isn't that good. Dude, it's,
and I kind of took advantage of the fact I'm like, I remember when, like, I kind of took advantage of the fact I'm like, my band can look cool. Like, put us in some dark light, throw some strobes. A lot of us have long fucking hair and tattoos. Like, we'll headbang, we'll go nuts. Let's do performance-based videos. You know what I mean? We bring a lot of energy. Let's capture that shit, you know? I remember when we were out with Stick, we did a winter tour with Stick, and all of us were wearing big-ass snow boots on stage every night, and we're all like 6 foot, except our drummer, God bless his heart. And we came out on stage with boots and shit every night, and like Scott one night just came up to me and he was like, dude, you guys just fucking come out there with your big ass fucking boots, you're all fucking 6 foot something, and you just rage for 30 minutes. Like, you guys are just like an army that walks on stage and like lets loose. And I'm like, that stuck with me, and I'm like, let's put that in a music video.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so great, man. Yeah, you come out there swinging, bro. That's you got to give them a show, you know?
Everyone's got their angle, though. You know what I mean? And I think it's like simplicity is better, because like those are really simple videos. Just find what it is that makes your band special and try and capture that shit, you know?
Yeah, we the video for we did for Middle Finger last summer was the best video we've ever done. Like, it's funny, it's silly. Like, we're beating up it's total Office Space. We're beating the shit out of the copier.
That.
Yeah,
that's a great video.
Yeah, thanks. And the guy that directed it, Andrew Hall, he did a great job. He's got an eye, and that's super important, as I said before, and just made it look really good. And
yeah,
you know, so yeah. And there wasn't like, we told a story a little bit, but it was just more or less just showing like a boss being shitty to his employees, and then sort of the, you know, us taking it out on the copier, just like the movie. But it worked.
Have
you know,
fun.
Yeah. Just
have fun. Keep it simple. Be you. You know, like,
yep.
That's why it turned out so good. Is because you guys weren't like, all right, man. First scene, the guy's putting in the payroll, and then he gets a number wrong. And then so like he sends it in to finance department, and then finance comes in, and you're like, okay, we're only 30 seconds through the video. What else can we do in here? All right, let's have my sister come in the music video and fucking do that. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's why it's like, unless you have a big budget or someone who's a fucking a genius to do it on a budget, it's tough.
Yeah. So you're always working on a budget, and you're always working with people that are willing to work for free, or, you know, just whatever. And the guy that played the boss, he was actually in the band of the guy that's directing the video. He's in a band, and the other guy from the band was in the video with us too.
Nice.
Playing the boss. So that worked out because they were all there helping out. So yeah, you luck out with things like that. And shout out to the Harbor Boys.
True. Yeah.
But yeah,
in our video Nice It Up, I literally was like, we all had our own scenes, and I was working at Jersey Mike's at the time. I was a kid, and fucking they let me shoot it. We didn't tell the owner, but my manager was cool as shit, and we came in late as fuck at night and shot the video in Jersey Mike's. I'm like working, and I'm making sandwiches and shit. We covered up all the logos. My actual manager is bitching at me and stuff in the music video. Shout out to Guy Valentino. He was hilarious. He got wasted because he got really nervous because he's like never been in a music video. It like wasn't a high profile thing, but he's just like, you're a normal guy, you know, really sweet guy.
Yeah.
Show up to shoot this video at 11, and he's like, Nate, I'm sorry, dude. I've been drinking because I'm super nervous to play my part in your video, bro. And so he's just hammered, and he's screaming in my face, and it was so hard for me to look pissed in the video because I was just like laughing. So,
that's incredible, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
awful video.
Yeah, nice. Well, let's check it out. Yeah, so dude, so Ease and Grace is out everywhere. What else you guys got going on? I mean, you got the tour coming up. Obviously, get tours for that. Anything else we should know about?
Iya Terra, the biggest thing right now on the horizon is definitely the tour. Beyond that, we don't have anything to announce for summer yet. I would love to do something dope as shit in summer, but it's January now. Still got some time. I don't know what we're going to end up doing summer 2021, but fingers crossed that it's fucking dope.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
Main priority is push this album because, you know, like we said, album cycles do feel short, but you still get told by the wise ones in the industry, like, push it as long as you can, you know?
Absolutely. So, yeah, and I think,
you know,
the pandemic might help in that respect because you haven't been able to tour with it yet, and this is the first time going out, you know, on the record. And just think about how many people are going to know all the songs from the record, though.
Yeah, that's a cool part of it, you know?
You know, like...
That's priority for us, man. Push the record. If I can plug something...
Yeah, go for it.
I'm trying to fucking plug. This week, we just launched a clothing company, my wife and I.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you so much, man. I'm really fucking excited about it. It's called Crossed Heart Clothing. When is this podcast going to be out, you think?
Probably Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
I'm having to decide which day I want to be the podcast day.
If it's Thursday right now, future ones in the future, if it's Thursday, go join the Crossed Heart Clothing Discord if you use Discord, the app, and you will have access to do first shopping on our Discord before the rest of the general public on Thursday, January 6th. However, if it is Friday, you have missed what I said previously. You missed the deadline. If it is Friday when you're listening to this, or any time beyond January 7th, 2021, fucking go to our website and go buy some dope fucking clothes, man. It's called crossheartclothing.com. My wife and I are really excited about the designs we've put together. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. We don't have any kind of sentimental message or moral to creating the clothing company. The entire point of it is to create awesome fucking clothes that I would want to wear. And I think we achieved that with our first drop. I'm already working on the next one. The next one's already done, and we're going to be releasing new shit every single month, working with really cool independent artists who are drawing a lot of skulls and snakes and roses and cats and pizzas and cool shit. So check us out, man.
I love the name. I think it's great. And you showed me the art the other day. Art looks sick. And
Thank you.
And I guess I'll have to put this out on Thursday then, because I don't want people to miss that drop.
Yeah, it's cool, man. If you guys don't have Discord, all it is, it's like a big ass group chat. So don't be afraid of it. You could download the app on your phone, and then it's like old school AIM chat rooms where you just hop in and we're all communicating together and talking about fun stuff in the Discord.
Yeah, it's really not that complicated once you get into it. Just jump in and start chatting.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, dude, congrats on the new thing, and congrats on the record, and you guys got a lot of streams already on the record for being out for a few months, and the tour's coming up, and I'm stoked to finally have you on the show, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I've been looking forward to this since you asked me, and it was a no-brainer. I texted you back in like 2 seconds because you've been such a fucking monumental help to me in just finding ways to continue doing what I love, man. So I truly, truly, truly owe you a sincere thank you for all the help that you've given me in the last year and a half. And it's been an honor to be your friend since we met in person, really, on that Iration tour, man.
Oh, dude, you don't owe me shit, bro. Fucking, I'm just happy to see you guys doing your thing. So fucking love it.
Yeah, man.
And make sure you guys follow his Twitch as well. Go over there and give him a little follow on Twitch. And fuck yeah, man. Well, Nate, have a wonderful day. I know you said you're fucking chilling today, so good for you.
Yes,
Love
sir.
It. Awesome, man. Well, take care. Tell the guys I said hello, and go get those tickets, people.
Fuck yeah. Likewise, Howie. Thank you, my man.
You got it, bro. Everybody, episode 147 of Tales for the Green Room podcast. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, all the fun shit. Follow me on all the YouTubes and all that fun stuff. See you guys soon. Peace.
Laters.